back to Kane Custom Garage. And today I thought we'd take a look at this big old McCulloch 300 80cc chainsaw made in the mid 60s. These were the saw of the day. So I thought we'd take a look at this thing and then take it out, cut some wood, see how she does. So let's get into it. She is, guys, the McCulloch 300 80cc chainsaw. These were made in like the mid 60s, and they made like a whole crap load of these 80cc chainsaws. They had a 1 series chainsaw. I think it started at like it was like 140, and then they had the 141, the 142. It seems like they were all made in the 60s, and they were all basically the same saw from what I can tell. They just had some little variations, but they were all this big old 80cc chainsaw. Like the owner's manual I have here is actually for a 250 and a 300. And yeah, if you look at that, they look basically like the exact same saw, except a different top, and then the 300 has the bigger muffler. So yeah, it's sort of weird if anybody has some insight on that, because yeah, there's so many of these things that are basically just, yeah, the big 80cc chassis with just some slight variances. And I remember I put this full wrap on this one, and I can't even remember where I got it from. But yeah, that's sort of cool, a full wrap on one of these things. So yeah, 404 chain on these, hard nose bar. They got some power. They're not the fastest saw, they're slow, and I was going to show you. So on these 80cc saws, the way you can tell, so all the 80cc saws just had a one-piece head and cylinder. It was all one casting. And then some, like the Super 250, and then some of the like when they got into the 180 and the 170, those were actually 87cc saws. And I've got an 87cc block here, and the way you can tell if it's 87cc's is it has a removable head. See, so if you look in there and there's bolts, if there's head bolts, that means it's 87cc's. But it seems like that was the majority of the saws back then, was the 80cc ones. There was like a crap load of them, and then they had the 87cc ones, which was like the 250 Super, some of the bigger, you know, that 170 and the 180 gear drive saws. And I guess they did make some larger displacement motors, but it seems like you see a lot of these 80cc ones everywhere. And so yeah, that's my 300. I brought out one of the stack mufflers that they had on these too. Quite a bit louder. So that was the other. I think that went on like the 250s. Maybe that was the special deal for the 300, is it had the quieter muffler on it and the fancy top. But yeah, she's a big old beast of a saw. Let's take a look under the hood, see what it looks like. So yeah, it's sort of cool, huh? Fancy. And then it's just got this floppy air filter in here, and then there it is, the big old Tillotson HL. Man, that carburetor is huge compared to today's saws. Look at that thing. And then I guess they made some of these with that flat back carb, which was a piece of crap, I guess. So a lot of people try to get rid of that if they see that. I mean, I guess you can get them to work, but I don't know. I don't think they make kits for them. So yeah, she's got the big bucking spike on there. That's pretty mean looking. So yeah, that's my 300. Let's take and put this thing back together. Take her out back and cut some wood. Okay guys, here's the McCulloch 300. I got a wild hair to get it going. I've had this thing for like 10 years and I've never ran it, so I put a carb kit in it and got her going. Made up a chain for it. So let's see if she'll cut some wood. This is for you, Pat. He's always like, they look nice, but do they cut wood? Well, let's see if this one does. Come on, baby. Gotta give her some fuel. That's awesome. She's got some grunt. She's slow but sure. Look at them chips. She's a cutting. Wow. And that's only because that was a new chain. I didn't sharpen it. I'm still practicing my sharpening, but yeah. What a beast, huh? She just needed more fuel. They like a lot of fuel. So yeah, I kept giving it a little more on the high end, and then it finally was happy. So yeah, that's nice. Cool. Alright guys, that's the McCulloch 300 with the full Rappy Dappy. A bad boy. Nice.